Greetings to all my fellow Mustang and Saleen enthusiasts, friends, compatriots out there on YouTube and Facebook and wherever else this video is being seen and shared. Saleen Driver once again. Coming to you with the fifth video in my video series that I started about why did you do what you did to your Saleen Mustang. I've already done videos on my seats, the tires, the engine, and the brakes. And now this will be the fifth video, and this will be dealing with suspension. Now, most people would say, well, Saleen already did the suspension. Why are you going to talk about it? Because, you know, the racecraft suspension system that they use in there is pretty damn good. Yes, it is pretty damn good, and I haven't done a lot to the car with respect to how it absorbs bumps and takes corners, but there have been some changes, and they were changes that I specified on purpose, and I wanted to go over those with you. Now, first thing, there's my Sonata still out there in the driveway, so I have room to work here because that jack takes a lot of room. I want to start in the back because that's the simpler of the two ends. And if you're a Saleen owner, this is not going to look terribly unfamiliar to you, at least this part. Those are Saleen springs, shocks, basically a Bilstein development, and quad shocks. Now, the quad shocks were kind of funny. If you don't know what a quad shock is, let me explain real quick. This is something put on by Ford to help mitigate something called axle wrap. Basically, under hard acceleration, the axle wants to twist this way. Or is it this way? I think it's this way. And the shock that is sitting there horizontally helps to mitigate and control the tendency of the rear axle to wrap or move this way, and keeps the tires on the ground. It does a pretty good job, but believe it or not, the car, my car, it actually came with the factory quad shock when it came from Saleen, but when it came time to replace the struts and shocks on the car, which I did recently, they also offered a Saleen version of the quad shock, and I figured, well, the damn thing's been on there 20 years, you might as well replace it since you're doing everything else. If you look in there a little deeper, I'm going to stand up and reposition, you can see the upper control arm for the car. That's not a stock piece. That is, let's see, who made that? That was, I believe that was a Steeda piece. That was a replacement, something to make the rear end stiffer instead of that stamped steel piece that's more of a solid piece. And we also did that with the lower control arm down here. You can see it's a solid steel piece instead of a stamped steel. So those things were done by me to aid in the in traction and locating the rear end. So we did those things to the back end. Very simple. It basically didn't change very much here except the control arms. And the only reason we changed the control arms was because it was time. Now up front we did a lot more here. Now some of you may spot right away that's not the stock K-member, the cradle that holds the engine and the suspension and all that, and those aren't the stock control arms and so on and so forth. Okay, let me explain what's going on here. Okay, stock K-member looks like something that came off the Brooklyn Bridge. I mean, it's this big, heavy, girder-like structure that, and pardon the paint that's on that left side arm there. It weighs a ton. Now, when we changed the engine in this thing from the GT motor to the Cobra motor, the Terminator, I said, there was a lot of, well, since we're here kind of things going on. And one of the since we're here kind of things going on was, let's change the K-member to something else. So we contacted a company down in South Florida called UPR. And we ordered a whole bunch of stuff from them. We ordered their tubular K-member. And that came with a whole bunch of other stuff, including those tubular control arms down there, which are stronger and lighter than stock. It also came with this Coilover Kit. It converts the stock strut to an adjustable coilover kit. Now it reuses your strut cartridge, but it changes it to an adjustable coilover style kit. The interesting thing about that strut is I had a hell of a time with that, because in this year of Saleen, they actually used two different suppliers for the strut. There was the most of the cars got a strut with a smaller diameter rod, strut rod. My car happened to be one of those where they ran out of that particular strut and had to call up a second supplier to supply them with parts. And we didn't find that out until when I replaced the struts recently, about a year or so ago. And they sent us the strut, the standard strut that they had in their on their website, and they sent it and it was wrong size. It wouldn't fit. Doesn't work. And then we had to scramble around and finally found out that Bill Stein, who designed the struts with Saleen, still made this particular strut for the standard Mustangs, and I ordered a pair of those and they showed up. And Saleen was good enough to take the struts that were wrong back, no charge, no restocking fee, no nothing. So good on them. Shout out to my girl over there at Saleen, Spring. Her name is Spring, actually. And she's great. If you have to deal with Saleen for any reason, try to deal with Spring. She is very, very smart, very, very knowledgeable, and excellent customer service. Anyway, so a lot of changes occurred, pardon me, in the front suspension with respect to the parts that Saleen sent, which were already changed parts from the parts that Ford did. Now, also, here's a Saleen part right here. Look at the size of that sway bar. That is much, much bigger than stock. Oh, well, my bushings are still good. That's good. So much bigger and thicker part than stock. Yes, there's a blue stain on my floor. That's old. It's not a current stain. You can see underneath the car, it is bone dry under here. This car does not leak. Anyway, we also have right here, we have, when it came time to replacing the ball joints and stuff like that, I went with Steeda X2 parts. So we have upgraded ball joints here, and we also have their bump steer kit. So we have a lot better parts under here. Wear item parts. So when parts wore out, I just replaced them with something better than even Saleen provided. So the Steeda X2 ball joint and bump steer kit actually lowered the car another ½ inch. And now I remember. You can see there, over there, there's a QA1 label. The rear control arms are QA1. I forgot to mention that. So anyway, so you can see everything bolted up in the stock location. It's located very tightly, and this car handles like it's on rails. Really a good handling car. It is, however, not a very soft riding car. It does tend to crash and bang a little bit over like railroad expansion joints. You know, if you're crossing over a level grade crossing at a railroad track, this car will kind of bang around a little bit. It's very stiff compared to a normal street car, but it handles like it's on rails. And on a road course or the Dragon, it works really, really well. I would say it works even better than a standard Saleen Mustang, which works better than a standard Mustang for sure. And you've all seen the stance on the car, so you know what it looks like with the wheels on. So you know it sits at a pretty attractive and aggressive point. So I'm happy with the way it looks. I'm definitely happy with the way it performs. It takes corners like it's on rails. So that's why I did what I did to this car. I mean, most of it is basically the way Saleen redid the whole suspension compared to the way Ford did it. You know, new springs, new shocks, new struts, new sway bars, front and rear, bushings, all that. I just changed out the engine cradle, the control arms on the rear end, the tie rods, and the bump steer kit. Those were my doing. So, and the coilover conversion on the front. Those were my doing. So it's a combination of, you know, the Ford parts were gone, the Saleen parts went on, and then some Saleen parts. Not a lot of Saleen parts actually went away. They were just augmented with better parts from the aftermarket beyond Saleen. So that's what I've done, and that's why I did it. Getting rid of that old K-member on this car takes a lot of weight off the front end, makes the car handle a lot better. And if you're a drag racer, it also helps with weight transfer. So that's it. I mean, that's why I've done what I did to the suspension of this car. So I hope you found that to be informative and entertaining. And if you did, I would appreciate a thumbs up. The thumbs up, clicking the thumbs up helps with the YouTube algorithms with respect to searches and helps to grow the channel. Comments, questions, and suggestions down below. I do read them all. I do respond to them all. However, if you are going to leave links in my comment section that take people to bad places on the internet, I'm going to delete the comment. I'm going to block you. Likewise, if you are going to be a nasty little troll, and believe me, I've had plenty. For some reason, this car draws out the trolls like nothing else. You know, you're going to be a nasty little commenter. I'm just going to delete your comment. I'm going to block you too. So just don't waste your time. Don't waste my time. If you like this video and you're new here, please feel free to look around at all the other videos I have on my channel. I have many on various subjects. I hope you find them to be entertaining. Before you leave, though, I do ask in return for all this entertainment, you click the subscribe button. And when you do, click that bell icon so that when I upload new videos, you are alerted. And when I do live streams, which I do every Wednesday at 3 p.m. Eastern Time, or whenever time and opportunity present themselves, you'll be alerted to those too. Again, thank you for stopping by. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Be well out there. Be safe. You know, watch yourselves. Be careful. I'll see you in my next video.